Genesis 1 and 26. And God said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have what? Dominion. Yes. Dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creep on the earth. Or excuse me, every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. Yeah. So God created. Verse 25 or 26, he says, let us do this. Yes. Verse 27 says, and they did it. Yes. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. And God blessed them. And God said unto them, be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for meat. And to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creepeth upon the earth, wherein there is life, I have given every green herb for meat. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. The evening and the morning were the sixth day. Let me share this in a different manner in which we've heard it before, but I want to just share some thoughts with you that the Lord laid on my heart. I do not apologize for what God's given me. Is there a possibility of getting a bottle of water or something? Okay, well, praise the Lord. How many of you have ever heard the word imprinting? Okay? Imprinting. A few days ago, I was reminded of this thing called imprinting. This is not just the printing of something upon a shirt or another article of clothing. It goes a lot deeper than that. Several years ago, back in 1996, there was a movie that was created by Hollywood that was entitled Fly Away Home. How many of you ever saw the movie?
Yeah.
Good, nice, clean family movie with a good meaning. Good moral story behind it. The story went that this young lady found this egg, and she took this egg, and probably more than one, I don't remember exactly how many there were, but she found them, and they were eggs from Canadian geese, okay? So what were they going to produce? Canadian geese, okay. The law of imprinting, you go and you look it up. I'm not just talking off the top of my head. You can go and find it in the dictionary. You can find it in the encyclopedia. The law of imprinting says that some animals, when they are first born, that which they first see is what they believe to be mama.
Right.
They become attached to that which they see first. I have a reason for going here, so we'll just give me time to get there. So sometimes we see things and we don't realize what we're looking at, but in this imprinting, in this story, this girl took these eggs and she incubated them somehow or other, and they hatched, and these geese began to look at her as mom. They began to see her as their source.
Right.
Please bear with me. They saw her as their source of supply. Because she was all they could relate to.
Right.
Oh my. So she raised them. Canadian geese aren't supposed to be wherever these geese were at, except when they're flying south for the winter. So these eggs had been laid in this area, and these geese needed to find their family so they could get united back with their family and go back home. I'm cutting through a lot of the movie. The movie's a whole lot better than my message so far. Okay? So she knew that these geese were bound to want to learn to fly, so she made they had this ultralight, and they painted the top of this ultralight to look like a Canadian goose. And as she would take off, when these geese started learning to fly, first off, before they started learning to fly, they followed her everywhere because they were thinking this was mama. Thank you. And they followed her everywhere. She made this, got this ultralight together. She began to take it up in the air, and they started learning that they could fly, so they started following her. And as I remember the story, they wound up getting these geese to go back to the place where they were supposed to go to be with their family. Like I said, I've cut a lot of that short, and there's a whole lot in there that I probably missed. But I said all of that to say this. Sometimes we need to realize that what we've been looking at as ourselves
Right.
is not the full image of what we're going to be yet.
Right. Yes.
Now, I believe, based on Genesis 1, 26 and 27, I believe that I am created in the image of God.
Yes.
I believe that you are created in the image of God. Now, if you want to get hung up on Genesis chapter 3, where man partook of the fruit and fell, that's a reality. That did happen. But I'm here to tell you something. I've read from Genesis chapter 1 to Revelation 22 where it says the end, and I've not found anywhere in there where God chose to take away His image and His likeness from man.
That's right.